Let me ask you something. When the storms of life hit, and they will, what keeps you going when your plans fall apart, when your dreams feel so far out of reach, and everything in you says, quit? What makes you rise anyway? It's not talent, it's not luck. It's not how many followers you've got or how many degrees are on your wall. It's grit. Grit is the relentless fire inside you that refuses to die. It's the inner voice that whispers, keep going. When the world is screaming, give up. Grit is not glamorous. It doesn't get headlines, it doesn't always look good, but it wins every single time. You see, most people want success to be convenient, they want it fast, they want it easy, but the truth is, nothing meaningful comes without resistance. Grit is what turns pressure into progress. It's what separates those who try from those who transform. Grit doesn't show up when everything's perfect. It shows up when you're tired, when you're broke. When you failed again, it shows up when nobody's watching and there's no applause. Grit is about showing up anyway, every day, especially when you don't feel like it, and let me be real with you, it's going to be hard. You're going to face rejection, disappointment, setbacks that make you question your worth, but that's the test. That's the moment life is asking you, how bad do you really want it? And grit, true grit, answers without hesitation, I'm not done yet. Every break through your chasing is hiding behind one more push, one more hour, one more no that you turn into a yes. The problem is not that people don't dream big. The problem is they give up too soon. They stop at discomfort, but grit keeps going until discomfort becomes transformation. Let me tell you something powerful. You don't have to be the smartest, the strongest, or the fastest. You just have to refuse to stop. You have to keep grinding long after everyone else has settled, because in the end, it's not the most gifted who rise, it's the most determined. So if you're in a season where nothing seems to be working, good. That means the fire's being forged. That means you're being prepared for something bigger. Stop asking, why is this so hard? And start declaring, this will not break me. Plant your feet, clench your fists. Look adversity in the face and say, you picked the wrong person to mess with. Because grit, real grit isn't about how you start, it's about how you finish. And if you've got the courage to keep going when most people would quit, then there is nothing, I mean nothing, that can stop you. Let's go. Most people believe that success is a product of talent, intelligence, or lucky breaks. While those things can help, they're not the deciding factor. Time and time again, we see people with incredible talent fall short, and others with average ability rise to the top. Why? Because grit outlasts talent and circumstance. Grit is the unwavering determination to keep going, even when the odds are stacked against you. It's the decision to stay in the fight, no matter how many times you've been knocked down. Talent might give you a head start, but grit is what gets you across the finish line. There will be days when nothing works, days when you question why you even started. You'll look around and see others succeeding faster, achieving more, getting applause, and you might feel behind. But that's the trap. That's the lie that stops so many people from reaching their potential. Because it's not about who gets there first. It's about who refuses to stop moving. Grit doesn't care about timing. It doesn't care about perfect conditions. It only cares about one thing, showing up again and again and again. You can't always control your circumstances. Life is unpredictable. Things break down, people walk away, plans fall apart. But grit is the one thing that stays with you no matter what. It doesn't rely on external motivation or validation. It comes from within. It's the fuel that keeps you going when everything else runs dry. And the beautiful thing is, grit can be developed. It's not something you're born with. It's something you build every time you choose not to give up. Every time you push through doubt, fear, or fatigue, you're strengthening that muscle. Think about anyone you admire, an athlete, an entrepreneur, a leader. What sets them apart isn't just what they've accomplished. It's the obstacles they overcame to get there. Behind every success story is a journey filled with rejection, failure, and pain. What made the difference wasn't how gifted they were. It was that they simply refused to back down. They believed in something greater than their current struggle, and they let that belief carry them through the worst of it. That's grit in action. So when you're standing at the edge, feeling like you've got nothing left, remember this: it's not your talent that will carry you forward. It's your persistence. The power of grit is that it doesn't break under pressure. It grows, and the longer you hold on, the closer you get to your breakthrough. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be willing to keep going, because grit isn't about how you shine when things are easy. It's about how you endure when everything around you says it's over. And when you embrace that mindset, when you make that your standard, there's no setback, no failure, no hardship that can hold you back for long. Grit is not something you see when life is going well. It doesn't show up when you're comfortable, when your goals are on track, or when you're receiving praise. True grit reveals itself in the shadows, in the lonely hours when nobody's watching, when you're doubting yourself, when you're exhausted, discouraged, and disappointed. That's when grit walks in. It's in the struggle, not the spotlight, where your character is tested. It's easy to be motivated when things are working, but when everything is falling apart, when progress is invisible and the pain is real, that's when your true strength is measured. Everyone hits a wall. That's universal. Whether it's a failed plan, a rejection, a betrayal, or just the grind of everyday life wearing you down, adversity will find you. The question is, what do you do when it does? Most people retreat. They slow down, they make excuses, they tell themselves it's just not meant to be. But the rare ones, the ones who possess grit, they respond differently, they lean in, they feel the pain, but they don't let it dictate their next move. They don't wait for the perfect conditions to return. They move forward anyway. Grit isn't about denying the difficulty. It's about refusing to let it stop you. It's standing in the middle of the storm with tears in your eyes and doubt in your heart and saying, "I'm still not done." That moment, right there, is when breakthroughs are born, because most people won't go there. Most people will quit at discomfort. They'll tap out when it gets heavy, but those who stay, those who keep going in spite of how they feel, are the ones who change everything. They don't just survive the hard times, they transform through them. You grow stronger not in spite of the difficulty, but because of it. Pressure creates diamonds, fire forges steel. Grit is developed in those dark moments where you decide that quitting is not an option. You learn resilience when you fail and keep showing up. You build mental toughness when you don't have results to validate your effort, but you keep putting in the work anyway. That's what separates ordinary from extraordinary. Not luck, not magic, just the decision to keep going. And make no mistake, those moments when you're tired, beaten, and tempted to give up, those are defining moments, not because they're pleasant, but because they force you to choose who you want to become. Will you be the person who crumbles under pressure, or the one who rises in the face of it? Grit doesn't ask for conditions, it creates conditions. It doesn't rely on motivation, it builds momentum from within. So the next time life punches you in the gut, don't just react, respond with grit. Remember, you're not being punished, you're being prepared. This is your moment to develop the kind of strength that no comfort zone can ever give you. And when you rise out of it, you won't just be tougher, you'll be unstoppable. When people think of success, they often picture sudden breakthroughs, big wins, or life-changing moments. But the truth is, real success is rarely the result of one big effort. It's the product of consistent, disciplined action over time. Grit is not about doing something impressive once. It's about showing up day after day, putting in the work, even when the results are invisible. Consistency beats intensity, because while intensity may get you started, consistency is what keeps you moving when the excitement fades. You see, motivation is temporary. It comes and goes. You can watch a powerful video, hear an inspiring speech, or have a great idea and feel fired up for a moment. But that fire doesn't last unless you fuel it daily. Grit doesn't rely on motivation. It thrives on commitment. It's the internal promise you make to yourself, no matter how I feel, I will show up. That kind of mindset doesn't lead to flashy overnight success. It leads to deep, lasting transformation, and it's built brick by brick through consistency. Consistency may not be glamorous. It often feels boring, repetitive, and thankless. But it's in those moments of repetition that mastery is born. Whether you're training your body, growing a business, improving your craft, or building your mindset, it's not the once in a while efforts that shape you. It's the daily grind. The people who achieve big things aren't always the most talented. They're the ones who showed up even when they didn't feel like it. That's what makes the difference. There will be days when you feel like nothing is changing. Days when your effort seems to go unnoticed. You'll be tempted to chase something new, something easier, but grit teaches you to stay the course. It reminds you that progress isn't always visible. Just because you don't see results today doesn't mean they're not being built. Every rep, every early morning, every late night, every tough decision is laying the foundation. And if you stay consistent long enough, the results will come. Not in a flash, but like the sunrise. Slow, steady, and undeniable. People often underestimate what they can do in a year and overestimate what they can do in a day. They expect instant results, and when they don't get them, they quit. But grit plays the long game. It's patient. It's focused. It's about putting your head down and doing the work, especially when no one's clapping. That's what separates people who merely want success from those who are willing to earn it. So if you're chasing a dream, don't look for shortcuts. Don't wait for the perfect moment or the perfect feeling. Just keep showing up every single day, because consistency may be quiet, but it's powerful. It builds habits, it builds belief, and over time it builds a version of you that's stronger, wiser, and more resilient than you ever imagined. That's the power of grit, and it belongs to those who choose to keep going.